So here's something really important to look at actually as we're running into this election, because we are, how many days out are we at this point? We're what, like 3 days and then it's election day on Tuesday. Um, so there's 3 days left to election day. And as you can see here, the Political Polls Twitter account has sent out a tweet that reads, National average lead 3 days to election day. 2000 Bush plus 2, 2004 Bush plus 2.3, 2008 Obama plus 6.4, 2012 Obama plus zero point 0.5, 2016 Clinton plus 2.9, and then 2020 Biden plus 8.7. And honestly, that includes all of the random pollsters that are now coming out and all of a sudden having these ridiculous numbers for Trump. Pollsters I've never even heard before. So I'm starting to think that maybe they're just, I don't know, they're just, the Republican Party or Trump's campaign is just starting to pay pollsters. Like, hey man, just put out some polls that are good for me, man. Please, we need it. There's like someone named Swayable, really bizarre pollsters out here. But what you have to understand is this is a essentially historic lead here, at least in modern history, right? Obviously, you see Bush in 2000, 2004. You look at Obama plus 6.4. Obama won very handily in 2008. He carried both Ohio and Florida, and I think he even took North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. So he carried 2008. Biden has an even bigger lead than that. So a lot of people are worried about Biden losing. Oh, look at 2016. 2020 is not 2016. Hillary Clinton had a lot of shit coming back at her towards the end, where by the time election day came around, they were actually nationally tied. And as you can see, it's plus 2.9 average with 3 days to election day, only 2.9. Whereas Biden's 8.7, dude, 8.7, almost 3 times the Clinton lead. And so essentially what people have been waiting for, first it was, the debates are going to do it. The debates are going to bring the lead down. The debates failed to bring the lead down for Trump. So he has such a massive lead. There's nothing coming to election day that is stuck with any voters because everybody cares about coronavirus, and rightfully so. So the only chance for Trump to somehow pull this win off would have to be insane levels of cheating that we've never seen before. And so the only pathway to victory for Trump is, and I don't even know if this would work because this lead is so massive, I don't even know if this would work. And so it would have to be to somehow convince every single institution to stop counting ballots after November 3rd on election day, which doesn't make any sense, by the way. Obviously doesn't make any sense considering all the ballots coming in. So what you're talking about is he would have to do that, okay? He would have to somehow figure out how to get all the institutions to do that, all the courts. Obviously, it ends with the Supreme Court, so that would sort of be what ends up going down. It all comes down, I guess, to the Supreme Court. Possibly, we're going to have to see Supreme Court has blown him a couple of L's because Amy Coney Barrett had recused herself, so that was definitely one thing, but who knows what's going to happen in the future with that. But he holds massive leads. Michigan is a lock. Wisconsin is a lock. Pennsylvania is essentially a lock. North Carolina is looking good for Biden. Arizona is looking good for Biden. There's a lot of states where Hillary performed really poorly and that Biden's doing really well in random states, like a Montana, for example. He does better in a lot of these states. Georgia is heavily in play. Georgia legitimately might go blue. Georgia actually has a much better chance of going blue than Texas does. So Georgia might flip blue. South Carolina, there's barely a little tiny chance it could happen. Iowa could flip blue. Maine could go fully blue. Nebraska's 2nd District with Kara Eastman might go blue. There's a lot of different pathways to victory for Biden. I have Florida as a lock for Biden because of the old population there. 65 plus voters bode well for Biden. So that's why I actually have Biden winning Florida as a lock. Ohio's a toss-up. He could win Ohio. A lot of people are actually expecting Trump to outdo his poll numbers, when in reality, I think Biden's going to outdo his poll numbers because of the enthusiasm that exists to get Trump out, considering coronavirus and all the other stuff, George Floyd, all of that stuff. It really doesn't make sense as to why Trump would outdo his poll numbers unless you just say, 2016. Look at these numbers right here. Do you think 2016 and 2020 are different? The difference between a national 2.9 and 8.7 lead are massive. Also, what appears to be another good indicator is actually Gallup's favorability amongst likely voters. And I think it almost perfectly aligned except for Trump and Clinton. I think was the only one where it flipped. So generally speaking, that's a really good indicator. Biden obviously has a much better favorable amongst likely voters. So there's pretty much no way that Biden loses this unless he gets full on, insanely unprecedented level of cheating. But even when it comes to election day, man, honestly, I think they won't even be able to do that. I think Biden will be leading in a lot of these states on election day. So I'm just explaining to you guys, man, there's just simply no way that Biden can choke this somehow. It's pretty much impossible. These are historically, this is higher, almost 3 points higher than Obama in 2008. And Obama in 2008 pretty much destroyed McCain when it came to the election. He took Ohio, Florida, and I believe North Carolina. I mean, that's crazy, right? So, and Obama won in 2012, and he did pretty well as well. I think the only thing changed, I think Mitt Romney picked off, I think he picked off North Carolina, but he took Ohio and Florida, I believe, the second time around as well. So, anybody who thinks that Biden's going to lose because of 2016, I think you're wrong, man. I really do. This is way too massive of a lead, and just quite simply, this election is over.